Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning trading room. Sorry for the delay there. I was dealing with a little issue with Kinetic with my data provider. Hopefully everything will be resolved now. You always get these little glitches from time to time. All right. Okay, so quite an overnight session here. Look at that gap. So Friday's trading leaving off around 69.55, 69.60. And when it resumed here in the wee hours Sunday morning, we opened with a monster gap up at 7,100. So you can see we got a huge downside gap here. And I don't know if they're going to try to get into that or not. That is a big gap. The problem with gaps is always trying to figure out, are they acceleration gaps or are they exhaustion gaps? So here now the daily chart, and you can see the big gap up. And we've actually, if we draw a trend line like so, you can see we've broken a serious breach there of that trend line, which will probably carry quite a bit of bearishness with it, I think, for the short term. I thought we would just see a little bit of a test of the trend line here and then the market come down, but we saw this big gap. I'm going to go out here on a limb and say we're going to see a few days here of retracement. And as we get back somewhere around 6,800, maybe even 6,700, if the buyers are going to pick up the market, they're going to have to do it from somewhere around there, because you can see we had some very, very strong bars building. But we'll see. I'm going to do my best not to have a bias on the day, because those always tend out to be my worst days. The days I think the market has to do something. Well, it doesn't always. All right, so let's take a look here. Our first in sync, well, not quite in sync. I suppose if you were looking at the overall trend, you may have tried to get on board here. This is actually your first in sync signal of the day right here. Although there was a monster follow through off of that signal just a minute or so after the open. This, of course, the NASDAQ that I'm following, which is my own particular favorite market, but the other stock markets will be doing the same. The Russell and E-mini. I don't know if I want to try anything just yet, but for those of you who do like your first in-sync signal, you do have a second push opportunity on this one, and actually a pretty decent range. So the second push opportunity simply means we allow the signal to engage, we see where the market reacts, and then we use that reactionary zone to place our entry. The problem with this tight little range is it is open to a fake break. Oh, look at that gap. That slippage was nasty. All right, I can't account for all the slippage here lately. I don't know why the markets would be quite so thin. But we'll get ready here with another stop strategy. So if this was our little sideways trading range, this now is the breakout, this now is the retest that we're looking at. And so it's important that the market gets down below these lows. And I've got a couple bars in my favor. I may roll my stops in a little bit more aggressively here. Again, very, very early in the day. Not really a signal that I'm all that keen on, although it looks like it may follow through here. Okay, I'm going to give them just that one bar. Not looking all that promising at the moment. Save a couple more dollars here. Oh, got the break even. No. All right, well, if there is going to be some follow through there, right now they do appear a little bit reluctant. All right, let's put that on the shelf for now. Oh, we are getting some follow-up signals though. We're getting a first micro macro cross here. Trend change signal on the Falcon, a number 3 signal here on the Raptor with another second push. Look at all this candy striping here. Yuck. All right, well, there's now a discretionary signal, and we're just starting to run too far. Okay, so it looks like they would have followed through on this number 3 signal, and the Raptor target a little bit easier to achieve than the Eagle target was. I think I may still give them a minute. Or two. Well, it does appear as though I was a little too aggressive with my stop. I would have trickled down now to my profit target in spite of that nasty, nasty slippage on the entry. There was nobody on the other side. This is one of these situations where trend lines may prove to be very helpful for discerning when the market may be actually reversing on itself. You can see we're getting a reversal signal now. And here's a little bit of a trend line break. We're still against the ATR, but it does open up the possibility of a reversal. So we'll see if maybe we get another test of the extreme. How wide did the band get? Well, the band did get to be over 50 ticks broad back here. So perhaps a move back to the hard edge. I wouldn't mind seeing a 2-3-2 type setup where we're into the hard edge now. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Where we're into the hard edge now, here we go. If we get a little bit of a sell signal followed by yet another counter trend signal, another number 2 signal, that would really open up the possibility. Well, there's the follow-up buy signal. Didn't really get the number 3 signal yet, but we are in sync with the ATR. Let's see if I can get a second push opportunity. If we can get a bar to finish bearish. There we go. We got a downtick bar. All right, so it's counter trend. It's a little riskier. Oh, I should use the. I'm not going to get a chance to change to a stop limit. Or am I? Okay. Well, I'm going to use the stop limit here because of the terribly nasty slippage I got on the Eagle trade. Actually, had I gotten a decent fill on the Eagle trade, that might have worked out pretty well. And here I got a little positive slippage, which is always nice. The NASDAQ, not normally a market you have to worry about slippage on. I think I might bring my break even about halfways to that hard edge. And oh, it's not letting. Here, we'll make Scott happy. We'll go break even plus 2. This way I can afford to buy him a beer too. Well, maybe not a beer, but a cup of coffee. All right, well, what are they going to try to do today? Back into the hard edge now, where we should anticipate some sort of reaction, and we're certainly getting one. See if how the Eagle trend line falls. All right, so the Eagle trend line, a nice little reaction there as the pricing intersects the trend line. The Raptor, of course, showed us a break because it had a little bit more information in there. Right now, the eagle still holding the trend. Well, okay. It does maybe appear as though the market will try to get into that gap, which could see us trade back to around the 7,000 area. Just kind of eyeballing the gap from earlier. So we're up there at 71.10. We finished down here around 69.60. Maybe 7,000 is reaching a little bit too low, but certainly 70.40, which is relatively nearby. Actually, I might leave that trend line on there for a bit. All right, another little hesitation. Band counter getting a little bit broad. I don't know. We may get another number 2 opportunity here, a counter trend signal. Ooh, or not. I'm starting to get the impression this is going to be one of these days where you just short, just find a signal to sell. Like here, one of our discretionary signals, just hop on board and hold on. Here now, another discretionary signal. In fact, it might be better to do it with the buy or sell buttons. Because the market is the way it is today, I'm going to go into manual mode, so I restrict myself to a single contract and just wait and see if I get another sell signal. There it is. So I hop in with a short order. Give myself a reasonable stop. 70.40 was kind of where we were looking. I may try, because it almost seems as though we have a bit of a trend going on here. I may try to take it down here to this next resistance line, which is at 70.25. And I will get ready here with a stop strategy, maybe the bar high low, something a little bit more aggressive. Oh, okay. Mark says there's a golden fib line and one of your support and resistance lines below that level as well. So a little added confirmation there. The trading band is getting rather broad, and now we're getting a bit of a counter trend. All right, I'm going to take my stops in now more aggressively. Actually, I'll do it here to the ATR. Yeah, not really surprised at that. You know, it was just kind of one of those let's get on board with the trend type trades. Didn't fall into the high probability category, of course. All right, let's put this away. It wasn't a deal breaker. You know, it was a relatively small loss. But I think I'll try to hold out now for a better opportunity. Oh, and we may be getting one here. The hawk has turned a little bit more bullish, as has the falcon. If we're going to be using trend lines, there now is the number 3 signal. So if we come back now with a number 2 signal, that's one that I'm going to try to buy. Oh, baby, there it is. Now, depending on how you're defining the trend here this morning, this may end up being counter trend. I'm thinking of this number 2 signal now as a bigger buy signal, but obviously it's against this immediate trend. Oh, sorry, had a little bit of a sneeze coming on there. So now we got another number 2 signal. Maybe, just maybe, this will be the bottom that we're looking for, or that I've been looking for. And then from here, well, we could see a move all the way back. I'm going to forecast somewhere to this trading range right here. So somewhere around 70.65, which does not seem too terribly unreasonable. I'll put my break even here at the hard edge for now. Only thing about this counter trend trade is I know my stop placement is in the right spot. Yeah. Mark says we should see that level uh, at some time, as is a significant point of confluence. Lots of indicators kind of lining up there. But very strange, though, how the market gapped up so much. That's why I never held anything overnight, let alone over the weekend. Yeah, that's a nice thing about day trading. You don't have to worry about overnight gaps. If you are holding overnight, you should always run an overnight gap. Get your broker to show you how to do that if you don't know how to keep an after hours market stop, because you do not want to wake up to a big gap. Well, I still think I had the right idea, but I may have been a touch early on that reverse, as is often the case with reversals. Mark says, I guess that clearly defines me as a scalper. Maybe. Day trader, yes. Scalper, it's funny. It's all relative to the time frame, as you can imagine. I think I've shared with you before. Trading friend of mine years ago used to be a pit trader in the feeder cattle pit, and they all thought he was a position trader, because he would hold a position for up to 5 minutes, whereas the rest of them were just in and out. All right, so here we have our little sideways range. Here we have our retest. We could throw our just in case order below here. When and if the market does decide to continue lower. Okay, so now is the retest. Now we're going to see a possible break here at the top end. See, I told you I was too early with my buy. Here we're getting the early trend change signal now. And I'm just going to buy that one. Oh, okay, I do get a second push. And throw my buy order up there. And let's see, it's top of the hour. They've really picked up the pace here, so there must have been a report that came out. And here now with the eagle, if we were monitoring this range right here, we have the same kind of thing. We're looking at the breakout, we're looking at the retest. We know the extent of the market, so we could throw a buy order in above there. If this next rally attempt fails, then we know the breakout's not going to hold and we can actually sell the market. So they're kind of working themselves into a bit of a twist. All right, looks like they're going to go long, so we'll get a stop in play. I'll cancel this one. And I'll risk it to this last swing right here. And now we're looking to see whether we get another breakout. And if they get a little bit more bullish here, I will start to bring my stops up a little bit more aggressively. Right now, not much love on the follow-throughs. I'm going to bring my stops up here as well. No point in risking it all the way down there. I have a minor swing here. I have a breach of support here and the market recovered here. So I know there's some buying going on down here. And when you cover your trade, don't put it like one tick below there. I know that's very, very tempting, but the market has a habit of breaking prior support or resistance levels by a tick or two, and you don't want that. You don't want to get tagged out for one or two ticks. All right, we'll bring the break even in here now. So this is the last chance for the buyers. They got to show me a little giddy up here. Okay, got the break even here on the Raptor trade. Got the break even now on the Eagle trade. And I'm going to be very, very aggressive here now with my Eagle stops. I think I got filled. I did. I got filled on my Raptor target. Hooray for me. Now, if I wasn't such a chicken, I'd probably try to ride out the swing. But I just don't feel like it. There's going to be a reaction around here somewhere, but you know what? I'll be all right just with the profit. All right. A little bit of a hiccup. The market may come back and retest this zone, this little sideways trading range we've identified. And if it does, we may get another buying opportunity out of that. While I think of it, I do need to close the trading room early today. We're going to close it up at the bottom of the hour. I have to rush off to catch a ferry. tomorrow's trading room will be as per usual. Next week will be our last week for the trading room because I'm heading out of town December the 12th, and I won't be back until after Christmas. So just a little bit of a heads up there. And yes, I will have the new trade calculator information available for everyone before I go. Wow, well, a little bit of a breakout. Now they're flat again. Was this little hiccup right here the retest of the breakout? Have we actually started a new bullish trend? See, we did have this little range back here that gave us a nice breakout and retest. That was practically textbook. Kicking myself a little bit I didn't get on board with that one, especially since it also intersected this trend line perfectly. So I dropped the ball on that one. But right now it's looking like the market may try to retest this zone up here around the 70, 77 zone. All right, here we go. Here's our retest now. And this may be close enough even to qualify as a retest of the breakout here. We're going to come into the hard edge. Are we going to get that buy signal? The hawk bearish, the falcon bearish. The raptor, well, into the hard edge, we're bullish, but the ATR is against us. Oh, nice. Mark says, enjoy your trip. Thank you very much. I will. Same here. He says, I'm gone the 14th to January the 2nd, seeing my kids in Colorado. I imagine they have their share of snow already. All right, here we got a number 3 signal, which I may give a whirl. And the idea behind this is just what we've been looking at here, just kind of the basic market structure. We've got the pullback, we've got the retest, we hit the trend line. Yeah, we broke the trend line, but you have to remember these lines are not really here, right? They're only there on our chart. So if it breaks it by a few ticks, it doesn't necessarily negate the trend line in any way. Where's that next target? Up there around 70, 77. Let's see if I have a resistance line there. Oh, I do too. Oh, darn it. Didn't get it. Got my break even. I was going to try to be a little bit more aggressive on that and roll it out a little further. Yeah, I got the +2, Scott. That's right. I ain't letting that extra $5 get away on me. Okay, here we go with yet another hard edge bounce right here. There's a hard edge buy. It's, you know what? I'm going to risk it above the high there. Oh, and they slipped past me. Stinkers. All right, I got a second chance now. Not much bullish momentum here anymore. They not giving a lot on the way of the follow through. You know, normally you see a break and you see prices advance a bit. Okay, that's a little better. That's showing some hope. And what was I looking for? 77. So my profit objective just before that. I'll bring my break even trigger in a hair. Yeah, I think the later entry is going to cost me this time. Well, maybe not cost me, but certainly make my trade a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. Yeah, no follow through. Or limited follow through. There was some follow through there, it just wasn't impressive. So we can actually see we're imitating the ranges. If we take the range that we had down here, now move it up here, here's the breakout. So the failure, with this the retest, if the market does not continue higher from here, Well, at least we know it's going to reverse and head lower. So I'm going to start to get a little bit more aggressive with my stops again. Look at that, another little hesitation. Let's see if we get the follow through this time. Come on, get up there. You can do it. All right, once more, I'm going to bring my break even up a little bit. What I'm doing here is I'm actually kind of eyeballing a little bit of a trend line. Well, we'll see here in a second whether that was a good call or not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, darn it. I got the bigger follow through. Ah, nuts. Oh, well. At least it wasn't a losing trade. Making the broker happy. All right, let's put that away. And look at that. Right up there to that line, which is also this line right here. So this is where the sellers stepped in before. Will they do it again? So I would have done a little better today with a looser stop. Well, this will be interesting. So we've got a little bit of a seesaw thing going on now. where we've had a very, very strong move lower out of the open. And now about 45 minutes later, we're starting to see a reverse. Somewhere through here, there's going to be a rather prolonged test of the extreme. In this case, the extreme being the low. And that is going to probably tip the scale for the rest of the day. And I don't know if we're going to see that little bit of a retest here before I have to close up shop, but ooh, look at that. Okay. Well, the buyers moving well past this little zone that we identified. So here was the bottom end. Let's see if they can get above the top end. There's the top end of that zone. And that's where we're at right now. Regarding the snow in Colorado, Mark says they have some, but it's nothing like the heavy wet stuff we get here in southern Wisconsin because it's so dry there. We'll be retiring out there in a couple of years when my wife retires from her job doing some land hunting while we're out there in 2 weeks. I grew up in the prairies. I know exactly what you're talking about because we always used to snicker when the West Coast got snow. And being the prairie boys we were, we would say, those West Coasters, they don't know how to drive in the snow. Nope, that's not the issue. The issue is when it snows out here, like you said, it's wet, it's heavy, it freezes, so you're driving on a patch of ice. Mickey asking, Eric, do you take many hawk trades? You know, Mickey, the hawk is perhaps one of my favorite trading tools. I know I don't focus on it so much in the trading room anymore, and I really should. As you probably noticed, I spend a lot of time focusing on the Raptor. That's because most of the room owners are Raptor owners. And because my clone hasn't arrived yet, I actually haven't been able to host two rooms, the DTS room and the Raptor room. So we kind of smush them all together into one here. But yeah, the Hawk, I love the Hawk. It is probably my favorite signal generator. And out of all those signals, the first micro macro cross is my go-to. It is rare that it fails, although it looks like there was a failure signal right here. These all developed like within the space of a second, so you probably wouldn't actually have had a chance to get on board with some of these. This one you might have had a chance to get. But yeah, when those micro and macro lines cross over, Oh, here's one that didn't work. But the vast majority of the signals will work. And if you're trading with a trading quota where you're only looking to capitalize on 2 or 3 winning trades in a day, the first micro macro cross usually a very good way to go. And here, if you had the ability to have a runner in play and the patience to manage it, it looks like you could have done very well on that one signal alone. But yeah, the hawk is a great tool. You know, they all have their place. Not everybody is inclined to be a scalper. You know, the thing that really defines you as a scalper is your profit objective. Typically, if you're in and out of a trade and you're netting about $50 per contract, most traders will define you as a scalper. Some people get really upset when they take their profit target and they see the market go on like this without them. That's why we also have the eagle and the falcon and the raptor, of course, being a hybrid, also gives you signals from the hawk, the falcon, and the eagle. So here was actually a really nice number 3 signal on the raptor about 10 minutes ago, and you can see just exceptional follow through on that. That coincided with the red bar buy and the hard edge bounce here on the eagle. But yes, you're right, Mickey. I should be focusing a little bit more on some of the other tools. When I was doing the profit run years ago, before the Raptor was developed, a lot of my trades were hawk trades. But again, that kind of suits my personality. I'm okay getting in, getting my profit, getting out. It doesn't usually bother me if the market goes on without me. All right, gang. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to close up shop here in a few minutes. I'm just watching this hard edge bounce, thinking, okay, we're going to see another little bit of a rally here. I think what I would do in this case, because the market at this point is relatively balanced, this is how I would handle this. I think I would, well, here, we'll do it on the Raptor. It'll be a little easier to see. You can do this on the Falcon or Hawk as well. But I think what I would do is I would have my trend line like this. We're into the hard edge. If we get a bullish bounce, we have lots of room here to retest the extreme. Yes, we're against the ATR, but there should be a retest up here somewhere. Okay, well, now we're sliding really, really low, and I need to go, but this is what I would look for. Look for a break. Oh, look at them honor that trend line. What I'm hoping is that this is actually developing into a little bit of a bull flag, and that the next buying opportunity, the next buy signal, will actually have a little bit of follow through to it. May not necessarily resume the trend, but might be enough that I can at least find my profit objective. All right. So there you go. I'm sorry I have to run, but the ferry won't wait. So I will see you guys again tomorrow. Be careful out there. Talk to you soon.